So guys, what's up and welcome to another video. In today's episode I'm talking to Adam Paszczela, basically sharing his best advice and knowledge with you guys. This is from the Magdeburg kind of interview series where I recorded all the masters on stage. So I will go behind the camera and we'll talk with Adam about the aquarium that he has created and some of his best advice just for you. So stay tuned after the intro.
I was the first time on TAOTPA, the event organized in Germany. So I was the first time in Magdeburg. Of course, I have a pleasure to working with many good friends like Jurijs, also the represent Germany Aquascaper Oliver Knott, and Dave Cho from Hong Kong, and George Farmer from UK. So of course the surrounding, the space was a lot of Aquascapers participant in contest, nano contest and XL contest. So really nice event, and I think it's good for aquascaping promotion in the world. My aquarium was dedicated for Iwagumi style, so I use only stone like layout material, and of course the all AD stuff, substrate was including this layout, and my layout was completely, it was fresh idea. I create the layout during the event, so we hadn't time to prepare. It was empty tank, so we started at the beginning, create the substrate, the part of layout. So we used the bacteria, the ADA product was the Clear Super Tourmaline, Bacter 100. Of course we used the power sand. My layout was, it gave me the possibility to use power sand. Sometimes special layout, some construction you cannot use on the soil, but in this my layout was the two part, like two hills on the left and the right side, and I used power sand advance and a few bags of Amazonia soil. And on the top, and of course I have also the sand, so it's decoration sand. What I used was La Plata, and the rest layout was created by stone, and the hardscape was developed maybe less than 1 hour. So it was really good experiences also for me, because all the time I participate in the workshops, more unlimited time. Another challenge for me was working with famous aquascaper. We feel that we have to do the best as possible, I knew that I would be create the Iwagumi, but not completely which kind of arrangement I would like to go. So I recognized the material, the first. So when I recognized the main stone is still remain on the stage, and nobody was interesting this guy. So I take him to my home and I start, from the bigger stone. My compose was a little bit typical U character, the U style. So, but much higher on the left. After when I made position, the right position of the main stone, I start to choose the smaller supporter stone. I have to use the material, not completely following my idea. So I have to go to create something like cave, like a pass under stone passage on another side. So of course we can imagine how will be the progress in our aquarium. So we have to think about what kind of plants we have to use and how it will be looks on the next 1-2 month time. So for us it's maybe much easier for professional aquascaper, but for beginners they have to learn, you know, a little bit time. If you can create a lot of hardscape, a lot of aquascapes, if you change it, your knowledge growing. My layout was typically Iwagumi. In this kind of layout, aquascapers using foreground plants. So my layout was very simple, and I used also the Chrysanthemum Monte Carlo, and I remember I used the Cryptocorin parva, yes, and some mosses, Ricardia and ordinary moss for create the details on the surface on the rock. I found inspiration from some landscape, mountain landscape picture. Also, this is like a fusion of picture in my mind. So I can see, something in the nature, some picture in the TV. Also some movie. Sometimes it's real aquarium. Somewhere when I visit some aquarium shop, like Green Aqua. And it is like a mix of picture in my mind, but very often I start to working without any idea, and all the time is something different. So I cannot be sure that this kind of layout will be finished this way or this way. So if you will be keep some space, some open door for things like you cannot control, probably the result will be much more satisfying for you, and you'll be feel that it's all the time is something exciting. Aquarium size is most important thing for amateurs, for beginners. So I think if you really limited space at home, even the mini M 36 centimeters tank will be completely enough for start. If you have more space, I think the 45-60 is also very good for start the fun with aquascaping. So we can learn on this aquarium, much easier is to working with this, and will be not disappoint the result and not disappoint the problems. They will be create like a LG, so we can fix it and resolve. The small aquarium give us possibility to use the low technology, and of course we can immediately buy the very high equipment to small aquarium. I think the CO2 is really important for Planted Aquarium. CO2 is one of the food for plants, so they really need it. So the low-tech aquarium, you can use the liquid CO2 products. And of course you can be very big, lucky, and without CO2 dosing, some way your aquarium will be works. But this is really accidentally situation. So for professional aquarium, the even middle low tech aquarium is really easy to using the CO2 right now. You can buy a lot of products, a lot of simple, and everything is safe. Of course, CO2 is really safe. Very big pleasure for me was judging the guys. It was really exciting to be a part of also some competition with my friends. Was a big occasion and opportunity to meet again Dave Cho, George Farmer, Oliver Knott. After many years time, we meet again. So it was a big pleasure to working with Jurijs, with Jörg Buchmann. So this was really nice to meet another new people, like German Aquascaper. Was many people participate in Nano contest and XL. You have the opportunity to make competition in IAPLC and IAPLC contest in Europe. And many different around the world. So please don't afraid about your work. Keep escaping, make the job and send application, because only this way you can increase in your beautiful hobby aquascaping.
I hope you enjoyed the interview. I did. I definitely learned some of the thought processes of Adam, how he's thinking about our beautiful hobby and how he has accomplished his great work. I hope you enjoyed the interview. If you did so, please show me with a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what was your takeaway from this interview, and as always, I'm gonna see you in the next one. Ciao.